The observation of ozone holes eliminated much of the resistance to limiting CFC production and use. In September 1987, the Montreal Protocol was reached, in which 149 countries agreed to reduce CFC production and consumption. In 1988, a decrease in the amount of ozone over the northern hemisphere was observed, a reduction of up to 3%. In 1992, a 10 to 15% ozone loss measured over the middle latitudes of the northern hemisphere was observed, and in 1993, a 15 to 25% depletion was observed over the same area. This was a serious loss. It is estimated that every 1% decrease in the ozone layer will lead to about a 2% increase in non-melanoma skin cancer incidence. These findings changed the policy of some CFC manufacturers which had been resisting CFC limitations. The seriousness of the risk was recognized, and there was a 40% drop in CFC use from 1986 to 1991. The regulations put in place by the 1987 Montreal Protocol have decreased the production of ozone-depleting chemicals by more than 90%. 99% of that from developed nations and 50% of that from developing nations. While great progress has been made, not all problems were solved. Replacements for CFCs are sometimes, but not always, more expensive, and some poorer countries have requested help in addressing the problem, which is commonly perceived to be a problem wrought by industrial nations. About $1 billion were required for the Montreal's Protocol's multilateral fund, which pledged over $2 million to the largest remaining CFC's producers, China and India, to phase out their production of these gases. Some of the replacements are capable of damaging ozone, although to a lesser degree, and are potent greenhouse gases. Finally, even though the response to this problem has been fairly rapid, CFCs and the chlorine they produce will be part of the atmosphere for decades to come. It is predicted that the concentration of ozone in the atmosphere will reach pre-1980 levels by the year 2040. The less ozone there is to absorb ultraviolet light, the greater number of mutations, and thus the greater number of cases of skin cancer. The following two photos of me occurred on a trip to southern Chile in 1991 while I was in the Peace Corps. I was near the city of Puerto Montt, about as far south in Chile as you can get by land without taking a boat towards Tierra del Fuego and the tip of South America. The ozone hole had expanded to the point where it affected southern parts of South America and Australia. In the first photo of myself, you see me on a cold, windy beach, but in the second photo you see me the following day with a bad sunburn.